Okay, episode 3. Let's get right into this. Now, this episode doesn't have really any
Muy bien. Muy bien.
but we're gonna get right into this nonetheless. So we start off with Boyd examining his arm in the mirror, but nothing's going on with it this time. But then we fast forward to him talking to Ellis about what happened in the woods, and Ellis is noticeably not believing shit this nigga's saying.
Where is Sarah?
I don't know.
So do you think she's alive?
I don't know.
You went through a tree, and then what?
Was back here.
How?
I got lucky. I found my way.
No, look, if you don't want to tell me, just say that you don't want to tell me.
Like, he's just looking at him like,
Shut your lame ass up.
so in the midst of telling Ellis everything that's going on, he mentions how Sarah pushed him into a tree and got away. And Ellis just snaps and is like,
No, Dad, you said that you were gonna find answers. You said you were gonna go out there and find answers, and now we're exactly where we fucking started.
and Boyd is taken aback and shocked that Ellis just exploded on him like this. But he calms him down, and Ellis finally explains the reason he's on edge is because of Fatima's mental breakdown the night before. So Boyd gives him a pep talk, and they share a wholesome father-son moment. So after this, Ellis goes to help the deputy look for possible victims and survivors in the woods. Then we cut back to Jim in the hospital. And of course, he's in the hospital because... and he has 3 cracked ribs and a bruised lung. But at least he made it out alive, unlike this poor guy. But basically, Tabitha tells him that when she was under the house, the wires they were inspecting weren't connected to anything and they were just dangling from the ceiling, yet they were powering the whole house. And of course, he explains how he can't lose her, and it seems to be strengthening their relationship, and then they share a moment. Now we go to outside the diner, and here we go with this prick giving Donna a hard time as usual.
But it's okay for you to start shooting out fucking tires though, right? Because that made people real fucking...
But big homie Boyd wasn't going for none of that. Boyd walked up on dude like,
Who the fuck are you?
Boyd Stephen. I'm the sheriff. Residents don't carry guns. That's the rule.
Wow. Rules change.
so once he says this, Boyd says,
You want a roof over your head at night when those things come out to hunt. Then you put the fucking rifles down!
so once he heard that ultimatum, he was looking like,
Let me stop playing till I get my ass dealt with.
and he gives up his rifle. Meanwhile, Ellis is out in the woods with the deputy, and mainly instead of helping, he's moving around picking flowers for Fatima, and the deputy gets noticeably annoyed. So he tells Ellis,
Can you stop with the flowers, please, and just help?
and Ellis smug ass gonna say,
Listen, man, I get that you're probably all bent out of shape about the whole Chrissy thing. Never mind.
like, just look at the look on this man's face. When he said this to the deputy, all I heard was,
You don't see me running around looking for a bitch. Now look at you, bitchless. Sans beach, as the French would say.
but luckily before finishing the sentence, he decides to drop it. But then they hear music playing in the woods, and in true Scooby-Doo fashion, they decide to go check it out. As they get closer to the music, they find a girl leaning up against a tree. But upon closer inspection, there's a metal rod stuck through her head, pinning her to the tree.
Step back, I think I'm gonna vomit!
Thinking she's dead, they almost leave her, but then... she's alive. Well, kinda. And now we cut back to Victor. And he sees somebody's been in his room, and he's not happy.
Someone was in my room and they took something.
I saw Jade and the Matthews boy up here last night, but
Excuse me.
So Victor peeks through the window and catches him playing his violin and basically starts knocking like,
FBI, open up!
so he answers the door. And of course, Victor takes the violin back from him. And as Victor's walking away, he runs up to him and starts asking him about the symbol he's been seeing everywhere. It even shows Victor the picture of him as a kid. And the whole time, Victor is just looking at him like... and you can tell this guy's getting his hopes up, thinking he's about to get some more information from Victor. But then Victor says,
You shouldn't have touched this. It's not yours. Stay away from me!
Emotional damage!
like, bruh, come on now. Are you trying to be stuck there forever or trying to become the next...
Muy bien. Muy bien.
Like, I swear, this man Victor is not at all pressed with trying to go home. So then, of course, he says to Victor,
Well, fuck you too!
and for the first time, I actually agree with this nigga. So now we cut back to Kelly in the woods, and as the deputy runs to go get Christy for help, Kelly tells Ellis what actually happened, when her boyfriend Brian opened up the door for those people in the cabin. And basically says they dragged them outside and told her that they wanted her to watch. So basically they had her ass there like,
Peter, it's making me watch.
Like, those niggas must have thought they were Vecna talking about they just wanted her to watch, but then they left her ass there like some day old spaghetti. They were probably planning to come back and clean that plate later. So now the deputy finally returns with Christy, and Christy's just looking at the girl like,
Okay, get in.
which I'm pretty sure everybody watching already knew because that metal rod is through her damn head. So we cut back to the town and Fatima is talking to one of the newcomers. And she basically asked him how he knew about the city and the, you know, that little body of water that they're by. And he basically says that he had a dream about it. And she lets him know that the city affects everybody different, but basically lets him know like, yeah, we're stuck and we don't know why. Now we cut back to the woods and Christy breaks the news to the deputy, basically saying that she cannot save Kelly. And the deputy's solution is... But Christy shuts that shit down immediately. And obviously Kelly's not stupid and she knows this shit ain't looking good for her, so she asks Christy,
I'm not okay, am
and Christy just bluntly responds,
No, you're not.
like, damn, that's a hell of a bomb to drop on somebody, but shit, points for honesty. Now we cut back to Tabitha and Julie. Now we cut back to Boyd, who's dealing with a whole different set of problems. He's questioning if any of this shit is even real as he visits his wife's grave and lets her know that Ellis is getting married. And with all the stuff he's been going through, I can't even blame him for questioning things. And we make yet another cut back to the woods where they're all trying to comfort Kelly, and her condition is noticeably getting worse.
Hey, what's happening?
The longer we wait, the worse we'll have.
Hearing this screaming, Boyd shows up and with no hesitation basically tells Christy and the others to go back to the town. And he basically says he's gonna do the deed and remove the metal rod from her head. Messed up way to go. And Christy, noticeably shaken up, returns to the town and falls into her fiance's arms. Meanwhile, Tabitha is back at the house and she goes to check on her son. She notices he's building something, but as he finishes building something, and rightfully so, she runs and tells him to get in the house. Now, as Boyd arrives back at the city, he goes to see Donna, and he basically lets her know everything that he's been going through since he got back. And upon hearing this, Donna's not fully on board with his theory, but she's more curious about what happened to him in the woods. And basically lets him know that she can't do what he does because when she was in charge, a lot of people died. But we cut back to the deputy, who is searching through a building, and as he hears a noise come from the basement. And as he goes down there, look who he finds.
Hi, Kenny.
Like, how long was she even down there just standing in the dark like a weirdo? And that's how the episode ends. Looking back on this episode, the coincidence that Boyd encountered is pretty crazy. And it would be crazy if this all did turn out to be some kind of weird fake thing where they were just in a trance going through it. But honestly, I don't think that's the way they're gonna go with this. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. This has been MarblePluto. Until next time.